Father's Day to everybody. Let me get the camera lined up. There we go. All right. Just get connected to the chat here. And once again, happy Father's Day. Good to see everybody this fine Sunday morning. We'll be making breakfast. And wasn't sure what to do for breakfast this morning, but I'm just going to make my favorite breakfast. Or some of my favorite breakfast because it's Father's Day and it's my day. What's up, Tom's Food Factory? Did you hit that like button for me and make sure that everybody can hear and see me okay? Jay Justice, what's up, buddy? How are you? Yeah, but I got a few things. We're gonna do. It's not gonna be it's not gonna be a big, long show this morning because we have a busy Father's Day plan today. But I'm just gonna make a few of my favorite things and hope that everything goes well. GH, what's up, buddy? How are you? Good to see you this morning. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and a special Happy Father's Day to the guys that are doing double duty. I've been there for 20 years. So you guys have a special place in my heart, that's for sure. But we'll get into it pretty quick. It should be a fairly easy morning. Let me turn these on. It's Sunday, so I'm running a little behind. That's how I do it. That's how I do it on Sundays. And we'll give everybody just a minute or so to get in and get going. But I'm not going to stay on here we're not going to do a marathon show today, that's for sure, because, I know everybody's got stuff they're doing today. A lot of people do anyway. And if you don't have anything to do today, that's awesome too, because some Sundays are great for doing absolutely nothing. I appreciate a good Sunday for doing nothing. But one of the first things that I'm going to get started doing, I got these heating up, so I'm just going to cut up, get my bread cut up here. I'm going to do French toast, and like I said, these are my favorites because it's Father's Day, so we're going to do my favorites. We're going to do French toast, we're going to have the hash brown, we're going to have some hash brown patties. What else are we going to do? There's something else. Oh, and some bacon. Because it's not breakfast without bacon as far as my house goes. I don't know about anybody else, but oh my God, this looks so good. Thank you. I like that handle. That's a good handle. If it means, is it Thai or is it thank you? I'm not sure because I can't see your profile pic from here. My monitor's on the wall behind me. So anyway, I did make bread yesterday. This is just a simple white loaf, King Arthur, unbleached flour. It's nothing fantastic, but I gotta have homemade bread when I'm doing French toast, so that's what I did. And this is the basic recipe that I've used in at least probably 2 other videos that I've done. And since it's Father's Day, I'm not taking the corner pieces out of this. I'm gonna cut this in half. Now normally, I know there's going to be some people out there going, oh, you should have let it sit for overnight and blah, 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 which I probably should have, but I did not. But I like using homemade bread because it's got a little more texture to it. If you can see in the inside of that, that's a nice solid loaf of bread. And you get some nice pieces, and we'll cut those down, and we'll make them kind of thick. I don't mind using store-bought bread for French toast, but if I can help it. Sometimes that's it gets a little too spongy, kind of falls apart. So you're going to do pieces about yay big with that, and then I'm going to cut these in half once I get a little room here on the cutting board. But like I said, I am stealing the center pieces because it's Father's Day. And that's what I'm doing. And to celebrate so far, Ming's still sleeping. Kevin Mong, what's up, buddy? How are you? William Hurt. Good to see you, my friend. I didn't see what you had to say. It scrolled past you quick, because I've got my back turned and I'm slicing up a few pieces of bread. But I'm doing some thicker pieces. And this bread was really good. If you guys have never seen my bread video, go back and check it out. I love this bread. And my sourdough, J Justice, my sourdough starter is coming along quite well, I have to say. I haven't had the second bubble yet, but it's on schedule. Other than that, let me move these out of the way. Just cut these in half so they fit onto the griddle. And we're going to give, one of the things the other thing is I'm using griddles today, because griddles are everybody in the cast iron collecting world has their thing that they like to collect, and my thing is collecting griddles. I did a sort of a half-ass count of my griddles last night, and now I don't have the biggest collection of cast iron there is, but somewhere between all the different pieces, I would probably dare to say somewhere around 20 to 25 griddles altogether, counting the round griddles, fajita pans, and all that stuff. I have way too many griddles. Some people might say, let me get a plate down so I can move the rest of this out of the way, and then I'll cover it up here in a minute when nobody's watching. We'll set that off right there. That over. Put this over here. Yeah, where is Vernon? I think Vernon had enough. I think Vernon got a good tongue lashing the other day, I think. Don't you guys think? I think Vernon probably had enough to last himself a little while. So let's set these off here, and I'll just put this over there. Brush that off into the sink. So but there's really not a whole lot of, there wasn't a really whole lot of, the Beegs, I just went back there and checked on, Ming the Beegs. They are still sleeping. Actually, all I could see of the Beegs was she was sleeping like a person. She had her head outside of the covers on the pillow right next to Ming. They were both sleeping exactly the same way. So I think the Beegs think she's a people. Yeah, poor Vernon. But I wish the Beegs was out here, because I've had the squirrels in my bird feeder all morning, and she's slacking. She's definitely not doing her job, because these squirrels are bringing everybody down, bringing me down, and that's her only job. She has one job, and that's squirrel patrol, and she's definitely not doing it today. But I just wanted to show you guys real quick what we're using for today's cook. So I'm going to be using the new Smithy. I'm going to give that a run with our French toast. I'm going to give that a try. Really digging this. I've tried it so far with a couple things. We've done some pancakes on it. And that's one of the things. When people ask me, they're like, what do I use to break in my cast iron? And I always tell them easy stuff. You do sandwiches, do fried eggs, things like that. Fajitas. You don't need to go out and do like 20 pounds of bacon on it, or 5 pounds of hamburger and all this stuff with fat, sausage. It's just not necessary. The lower with a lot of protein, because people, and when I say fajitas, a lot of times people are like, why would you put fajitas or soft taco shells on it? Because they're full of lard. That's all they are. They're just lard and flour. And then the other thing we're going to be using, which I think is an underrated pan in the cast iron world, the fajita pan, the Wagner sizzle server, as they were called back in those days. Now, see you, William Hurt. See you, buddy. Karma may have paid Vernon a visit. I think what paid Vernon a visit was that Ming reported him, so that might have a lot to do with it. Can you guys see that, or am I totally going off the rails with that thing? Because it's like my opposite seems to be like where it's, I don't know. There we go. There we go. There's my camera. Yeah, Ming did that. So anyway, there we go. That's a better shot of it. But yeah, the Wagner sizzle server, say that 5 times twice. That's a tough one. And this is one I got from my mom, so I kind of always dig that one. My mom got that at a garage sale back in the 1970s. So we've had that in the family for a long time. Probably 50 years that's been going on. And then if I need a backup griddle, I've got the Sidney Hollowware, made in like 18, I think it was 1883 till around, or 1885 to about 1896 before Wagner bought Sidney Hollowware. So this one's seen this has seen a few presidents in its day. So we got that one. And then one of my other go-to griddles that I really like, and ironically enough, when I had shoulder surgery, I used this one for everything, which is just the Lodge square skillet. And these are great. That's not rust or anything. That's where I peeled the seasoning up, doing some flipping things too early. But these are great. These are great for in the oven. You know, you want to put a few egg rolls or some, you know, just anything for in the oven. So instead of breaking out a baking dish, do that. And we're actually going to do, we're going to throw the bacon on that. I've already got the oven heated up to, I'm going to drop it down to 325, and we're going to throw our bacon in there. I'm going to throw some parchment on there. I've already got my parchment paper semi ready to go. And for anybody wondering why I'm using parchment paper on there, it's because it's easier to clean. It's a lot easier to clean than just doing your bacon on there. So let me jump out and grab the bacon. I didn't break the bacon out too early because I didn't want the bacon sitting out. So I'll get that out. We'll do about 4 or 5 pieces of bacon on there because at some point the Biggs is going to wake up and she's going to want breakfast. And that's one of the things I like about doing these lives on Sunday morning is you guys are kind of catching me when I'm actually doing my breakfast. And these are breakfasts that I actually, you know, some are trials, like last week when we did the pinwheels. Some of these are trials, but a lot of these are just what I make for breakfast anyway. Let's see. There's my slicer. Slice that on there. That off to the side. And there we go. Pop that onto there. Nice thick bacon. And I've been into this for a while of this whole doing bacon in the oven and not the skillet. I've really been digging on this a lot. 300 to 325 for about 20 minutes, and you really get some decent bacon. You really do. So let's put these down there. A lot of times, and that's what these square skillets are great for that. One of these mornings, and I have the Griswold Colonial breakfast skillet, but I've never used it. I've never once used that skillet. I've had it for a few years now. I bought it. It was one of the pieces I got at an auction from the Tom Oren collection. And if you guys have never heard of Tom Oren was one of the biggest collectors in the United States, with one of the biggest Wapak collection. He was actually one of the officers in the Wagner Griswold Society. And if you've never looked that up. It's a pretty cool club. I'm not a member of it, but I someday would like to be. But I got it from the Tom Oren collection, not this piece, but my Colonial breakfast skillet. And I was really lucky to get it because Tom's pieces were absolutely pristine. If you got something out of his collection, you got one of the best pieces that money could buy. I did pay a good buck for it, but there's a reason for it. It's absolutely perfect. It's probably my breakfast skillet showed very little signs of wear and was stored. He used to keep everything in a special. He had his whole bottom floor of his house was nothing but cast iron, and he kept it all temperature controlled. And I mean, he had a collection that, like when at his auction when he passed away, his racks just the racking that he had in his house and in the buildings that he had all of his cast iron in. I mean, it took up a whole section of the auction house. It was crazy how much just how much racking that he had. And that doesn't even count the stuff that was hung on the wall. I can remember seeing pictures. I went back and looked at Tom's collection when they were featuring it in the Griswold, the Wagner Griswold Society, and I remember seeing the Colonial breakfast skillet on the wall. So he had that one. That was a wall hanger in his house. So a little bacon on there, cracked pepper bacon on that stuff. And pepper is a big part of my everyday diet. So we're gonna slap that in there. We're gonna throw that in there for about 20 minutes. And we're gonna move on to the batter for our French toast, which I think I make French toast a little bit different than a lot of people do. I don't just do eggs and milk. For that, I like to add a little bit to it. Let's see. The bees will wake up and smells of bacon. Yeah, she will. She's gonna come out. That's the one strip across the bottom. That's her bacon. And I've even got an extra egg sitting there. So she'll have eggs and bacon this morning. We might even stick around for all that stuff. But yeah, French toast is good, but you gotta throw something a little extra into it, or it's just, I don't know. It's just egg bread to me. It's nothing. It's not great. And a lot of people go crazy with the cinnamon. I go crazy with the nutmeg when I do my French toast. But one of the things that I wanted to show this morning, which is one of my most prized possessions, which is this. That is my very, very first Father's Day present. And that thing is, it's dated on here 1987. Now, I didn't get it in 1987. I was actually still in school in 1987. But it was my very first, if you guys can see that. And I'm kind of a Grateful Dead fan. I wouldn't say so much as a Deadhead, but I really admire Jerry Garcia's guitar playing growing up. I'm not going to get all into that, but that was my very, very first Father's Day present, and I would say 1991. And but yeah, I'm sorry, I just got kind of distracted with the comment section. But yeah, that's my very first Father's Day present. I've had it for, however many years, since 1990, 1991. And my oldest daughter got me that, and I still have the card that came with it, the handmade mom helped card that they did with that. But yeah, that's one of the things that me and the Queen of New England have in common. We both love to cook, and we both love the Dead. They're in my top 5. They're not for her. It's the number 1, but for me, it's it's in my top 5. I'm a little more of a Pink Floyd guy than she is, and I grew up on folk music, so I grew up on like the Clancy Brothers and Irish folk. I grew up on that kind of stuff, so that holds a special place. Oh, speaking of which, I think it was I'm not sure who said it, but somebody just made their way out here. Little Beegs cam. There she is. There she is. Say morning, Biggs. She's licking her lips. She knows she knows there's bacon. She knows what Dad's doing. Making some breakfast. So now she's gonna be stalking me here. Yep, here she is. I'll go back to it. She's patiently waiting. This is what I look at while I'm making breakfast, or anything really. Generally, once she starts smelling it, it's right there. But I don't think she's ready for any tricks yet. She was sleeping. So go back over here. There we go. And if anybody caught my post, we were up late last night making candles. Me and Ming were making candles, watching movies. So I'm discovering little bits of wax from all over the house, all over the kitchen. Keep stepping on it. Little pellets, little pellety things. But enough about all that. I'm gonna go here and get to making the batter for French toast. So we'll get a couple eggs. I want to keep my batter sort of shallow as well. I like to keep it shallow, so I use a bigger square dish. Some shell, calcium, got a little calcium in there, and we'll start with 3 eggs. There we go. Should put my gloves on, because I'm already getting egged up. Let's see, and then I've got half a cup of milk here. Mostly the milk's here for my coffee, because I don't have one of those cool coffee creamers like the cows. I don't have one of those. I should get one. We're going antiquing after this. We're going to, if some of you have seen my shorts of the short videos of the cast iron hunting in Wapak, we're going cast iron hunting and antiquing in Wapak today. And here in about a half hour, the antique mall, the Auglaize Antique Mall, will be opened up. So we'll be going over there. So we'll get that broke up. And then you want about a half teaspoon of vanilla in there. About a half teaspoon of that. Hands are shaky. Tell I've had a lot of coffee this morning. Been using my mug. Been using my Grateful Dead mug. But yeah, I've had that thing for a lot. That's been all the places I've moved and everything I've ever done. That place, that's one thing that's always made it with me. Let's see, and then we'll do. I like to cover the entire top of the eggs with nutmeg. That's that much. And then we'll just do, I'll do a dash. Now I didn't forget the cinnamon, but cinnamon's not my go-to. So we'll just do a little bit of cinnamon in there. Throw the rest in the sink. Smells good in here. It actually my house smells like clove this morning, because we were doing, one of the candles we made last night was a clove candle. So we get that. Got this, we got the vanilla, we got our cinnamon, we got our nutmeg. And then we always got it, if you guys use spices like nutmeg, cinnamon, you always got to use the black pepper to make all that stuff pop. And trust me, it looks crazy, but it works. It's one of those family secrets. Not really a family secret, but one of the things we do. And on top of that, I just do a little bit, just a sprinkling. I gotta watch myself on this, or this could get hairy. Just a dash of allspice. And do the allspice. If you don't have that stuff, just use pumpkin. You can use pumpkin spice. It's a little heavy on the cinnamon, but a lot of people love cinnamon. So, okay, I want to add just a little bit more milk to that, just splashes. French toast is another good thing for folks that are just getting in cast iron. French toast is a good thing to help season your cast iron. Because cast iron, for folks that don't, that aren't aficionados or collectors and things like that, it takes a minute for seasoning to build up. It's just one of those things. It's not going to be overnight. And like I've said in a couple of my other videos, just use it. And then it'll come around. Let me check the comment section while I'm doing that. Let's see, Marty's in here. Zoe Marie, looks yummy. Thank you so much, Zoe Marie. If anybody's new in here, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. I'm very close to the goal that I have for 500 subscribers, because it's insane. It's the crazy thing about this channel is I get a ton of views, but I have no subscribers. So my reach would really be reach would be so much better if I just had a few more subscribers. So if you haven't already, do that. I wouldn't have thought of trying nutmeg and pepper and allspice. Yeah, that's the way, man. I tell you, it's something. Graham did. Graham always did this with her pumpkin pies. She always put black pepper in them, and I've just incorporated that into anytime I use any kind of these, the Thanksgiving spices. And it just makes everything pop. You don't taste the black pepper unless you go really crazy with it. You will, but generally you don't. And it's just one of those things. It makes everything else pop, and it really, really is effective. Because I mean, black pepper is kind of strong, so it's going to make the strength of all those spices come out at the same time. And I really want to get this creamy. If I don't like to use my my stand mixer to on the live streams because it's just a loud, annoying noise. So I just hand mix everything. And one of the things I'm after today when I go to the antique mall is the other day I was at when I was at the antique mall and I was just kind of browsing, and I actually didn't have my wallet with me because it wasn't that much. As they had a really nice hand mixer, one of the cranking hand mixers. So if that's still there today, that's on my list of stuff that I'm looking for. That and cast iron, glass lids for cast iron. Because if you watch these streams enough, you know that although I do collect the cast iron lids, they're not in my repertoire of using them on a daily basis. So that's fairly done. I think I'll take that. I want a nice even yellow. I don't want any white in there at all, because I don't know, it'll show up on the bread. And then the other thing I want to do is I like to do I've got some butter melting over here. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to add, let's move this back just a smidgen. And we're going to add our maple syrup with the butter. If you're not into that, I'm telling you, you're missing out. So, and it works really, I like doing it with I'm a real syrup kind of guy. It doesn't matter the grade, I like both. I like darker ones, and I like the lighter one. But I always make sure I have some, the real deal. It's kind of like making your own Mrs. Butterworth at home. So let me see. Let's mix that up. Break this thing out. Break out my other little whisk here off to the side, if I can dig it out of my menagerie of different whisks. But just some butter. And can you guys see that okay? Take that a little more this way. But yeah, it's about a quarter stick of butter and a splash of syrup. And plus, if you use real syrup, I find that it's a little easier to clean out of the cast iron too than if you use like the log cabin stuff with the corn syrup in it. But I like to make sure that I have a good consistency on that. There we go. There we go. That's about what you want, like right there. That'll be a good syrup. Maybe a little more syrup in there. No. Set you off to the side. That's why I have my little spot right there for setting stuff. Luckily, even though I'm getting older, I'm still fairly quick. Just a little more syrup in there. Let's see. Check the comments. Oh, they've all scrolled by me. But yeah, we get a nice thick buttery syrup. And then I'm going to check my bacon because I forgot to set my timer. Yeah. Yeah. Took it down to I was thinking, I go 325 if I'm using a cookie sheet, but on 350 if I'm using cast iron, and I forgot that I was doing something out of habit. Alright. Okay. We were at 350. Evidently I was at 350 anyway. So, because it didn't take any time to move up to 350. So I'll set that back onto the little warmer. And that works really good on the, if you have, every stove has their little exhaust section there. Or your exhaust burner. And I don't turn it on, I just sit there and let it kind of marinate. I get a drink of my coffee. Let's see, I make maple syrup, and you are correct. The taste is so much better when you mix it with butter. Thank you. Yeah, it's 100%. And real butter. I try to stay away from all the artificial stuff, the caramel colors. I mean, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. It's your syrup. You eat what you want. But I just like the. I always grew up on real maple syrup, and it's easy. It's so much easier to clean. It'll crystallize up if you let it sit, and you can let that sit in there. It's not going to hurt that cast iron to sit there while everybody eats and does their thing. And plus, I mean, warm syrup, it warms the pancakes and everything up because when you have like vintage waffle irons and things like that, they taste good because you're making them. That crispy, the crispiness and the fluffiness you get from using cast iron and waffle iron, but you're making one at a time. You know what I mean? It's hard to keep them. It's hard to keep them warm for real. Definitely hard to keep them warm. So it's nice when you have warm butter with warm syrup. It kind of heats everything back up. And plus, it's just absolutely. I mean, if you ask me, it's absolutely delicious. Coffee's good. I got a little Hawaiian coconut coffee, Hawaiian coconut hazelnut. A lot of nut, but it's good. It's really good coffee. Just a little splash of milk in it. Check again to see how our bacon's doing. And I don't flip the bacon when I'm doing it. That's something I do not do. And let me grab out. I want to grab out my hash brown patties. Now a lot of people make fun of hash brown patties, but it's Father's Day and I'm eating what I like, and I like hash brown patties, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to set a couple out so they can kind of knock the frost, not really the frost, they're not freeze burnt, but just kind of get them warmed up onto the side. Just set these off. Hash brown patties, that's what I'm talking about. I like pancakes with syrup, it's good, yeah. Yeah, I tell you what, Jay, if you're in here, if you didn't see the post where I made my first sourdough pancakes, I'm telling you what, that's such a game changer. I did that discard recipe for the pancakes I made the other day with the Smithy, and I'm telling you what, son, that's some good stuff right there. I've never had a homemade pancake that good as I did those. Those were sourdough pancakes. I'm totally addicted. I'm totally addicted to sourdough pancakes now. They were the fluffiest, and I've had a recipe that I've been using to make pancakes for years and years, and they rose nothing like that. And I mean, I've used Bisquick. I've done, Jay. They are absolutely life changing. I mean, if you want a pancake, sourdough pancakes is where it's at, and that's a great way to use your discard and all that. We make baked pancakes. Really? What do you do? Like 350? Just put the batter on a sheet and bake them? Zoe, that's pretty. I've never tried that. That's pretty cool. Anyway, let's grab this in here just a little bit closer. There we go. My central air just kicked on, so I hope that doesn't get loud. It's not really loud for me, but sometimes little background deals, sometimes people can hear them better than I do. So the microphone picks up stuff bizarrely as it is. Let's see. I keep giving that a stir. I want this really creamy. I don't know if I said that, but I can start to smell the bacon. Yeah, the bacon's got about 10 minutes. Where are we at with time here? Oh, we've only been doing this for 35 minutes, so. And that's breakfast shouldn't take. I know I can on these weekends I can get some kind of, I can get a little bit some stuff takes a while, but this breakfast shouldn't take that long. I've got everything preheated here. Everything's going good. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna grab a little bit of orange juice. I'm gonna jump off. Just give me 1 second. Fuzz loves that. Is Fuzz in here? Is Fuzz Fork in this? The fan, that is. Oh, the fan? Yeah, he loves the fan. I don't know, which at times can kind of be, when I'm doing these streams, I'd really like to have my fan on. But I get it. You know, there's things that this mic picks up that I don't hear. Like, I remember one time I had my dryer going during this, and the dryer's on the other side of the house. And people were like, what's going on in the background? And I'm like, it's just and it was just my dryer. And when I watch, because a lot of times I watch the replay like the next day to, I never hear the fan. Yeah, I don't know what he's listening to. Fuzz is probably listening to this on one of those 1970s with the receiver and the 3-foot speakers. That's probably what he's doing. Like the Technics receiver with the 3-foot Craig speakers. That's probably what he's listening to it on, I would imagine. Got it plugged into his TV. Got it all plugged in through his TV. Transistor radio. Yeah. Man, I used to love transistor radios when I was a kid. Loved them. And I don't even know, I wish I still had my transistor radios. They're probably at my mom's house in a box somewhere. And they probably still work. Those things were freaking indestructible. And you could listen to anything. I remember listening, I could be like in the middle of, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, and I could hear St. Louis AM radio channels playing music, and New York. And I remember there was one station that I used to get from, I think it was Boston. I'd get a Boston station that was AM radio that would play music at. I'd have it with the one earphone with the curly cord. Yeah, that's how I like to. That's how much technology's changed. Now you can just watch anything. Let me see. I like to mix. Radagast says, Zoe Marie, thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate you. Come back again Thursday nights and Sunday mornings, and videos here and there. Some shorts. Let's see. Yeah, thanks for coming by. I like to mix my eggs, cream in a bowl, then pour it through a strainer to remove any squigglies. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. How long does that take a long time to go through a strainer? Well, I guess a strainer. I was thinking like a coffee filter. But yeah, through a strainer wouldn't be too bad. Okay, everybody's probably getting tired of me watching me do that. I'm gonna move this one griddle out of the way because I don't think I'm gonna need it. And set that off to the side. And we'll move over here to see how the bacon's doing. Yeah, the bacon's doing pretty good. Bacon is doing pretty decent. So, but that's the thing. You gotta. Let's see. Then we'll just move everybody over to here. There we go. And back everybody up. Back everybody there. Okay. There we go. And here's where I will. Let's see. You guys, anybody got anything good going on for Father's Day today? Or you just get a day to not be bothered by everybody? That's always a good one too. Staycations, there's nothing wrong with staycations. I can tell you that. I like a good stay-at-home day for these kind of deals. Let's see there. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Here with this. Then I can set my plate. I'm going to set my plate off to the side over this way. I need to figure out how to, when somebody, because I've got everything hooked up through one thing. When people text me, hi, trust is key. What's up, buddy? That's so funny. Trust is key. I have a video that I did where I took where I went into the Wagner cast iron plant before they tore it down, and right above the back entranceway that I went into to get into the place, it has that spray painted on there. And I even said that in my video, trust is key. That's pretty funny, actually. So, just kind of ironic, something ironic. Chili day, that's the way to go. Yeah, 100% GH, 100%. But yeah, trust is key. That's really ironic, honestly. And the Biggs is out here stalking. She came out here long enough to do that. Give a stretch, do a yoga stretch. Okay. So the bacon's coming along. Bacon's coming along nice. Man, that bacon smells really good. Throwing that pepper on the bacon. I'm just a huge black pepper fan. Huge black pepper fan. Give myself a little bit of room to work. And I might just move you guys over this way. How's that? And pop this up just a smidge. Sorry to move you around like that, but I think this will work out good for everybody. There we go. That's a little better. I can work with that. I can work with all this. And we'll get some oil onto there, oil and butter. Where's my oil? There it is. So got a little bit of oil on here, and get that heating up, and get the top of it off. There we go. Morning, Mingo.
Good morning. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much. It's going great so far. Best Father's Day of the year so far. No complaints. Oil on there. And we'll start putting these on, and these are going to crisp up. Patsy, good morning. How are you? Cold butter dish. Happy Father's Day. Thank you, Pat Z, and to everybody out there. Those going. Get a little salt and pepper on these. Salt and pepper on one side. There we go. I like them good and salty. Gotta have them like that. A lot of times I would deep fry them, but I don't feel like that mess today. I don't feel like the deep fried mess of any of that stuff. And I'm gonna glove up because I'm gonna start dipping the toast and get this toast started. Don't want to make a pile of that. I think the Beagle would like some. I think the Beagle might like a piece of French toast too. I mean, who doesn't like French toast? I just don't know about cinnamon for the dog. There's a little bit of cinnamon in there. I don't know if dogs can have cinnamon. Anybody know if dogs can have cinnamon? So maybe something I should maybe avoid giving the dog today. Don't give it where I poison my dog with cinnamon live on the interwebs. Oh man, not cool. Don't poison your dog on the internet. That's the bad thing to do. PETA. Though somebody will call PETA. I guarantee you somebody will call PETA if I poison my dog live on the inner tube. There we go. Okay. Get that going. And GH, I am digging the Smithy. I'm really liking the Smithy a whole heck of a lot. Once again, thank you so much for sending that my way. Because I'm not a big modern cast iron guy, but I tell you what, that thing is fun. I'm digging on that. So have a lot of fun with that as well. Let me see. And as I just moved my butter out of the way. Ming was giving Vernon a talking to. She said, sorry for being late. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, she doesn't. Yeah, she's kind of team dad. She doesn't dig on when people are giving me the business, which is cool. You gotta, family's gotta watch each other's back, right? Okay, so See where our bacon's at. I forgot to set my timer for the bacon, so I'm just like eyeballing the bacon. Doing a bacon eyeball. And I don't want it to get too overdone. Now I'm distracted by that. Let me get out. Put our butter on here. Which I'm not getting a good angle today on that. I'm not getting a great angle. There we go. Well, we get a few pieces. I don't need this any longer. Don't need my whisk. Had enough of that. Get that in there. And my bread's not stale, so I don't want it to sit in there too long. Get that going on there. There we go. That going. Yeah, she's the enforcer. She's little, but she doesn't mess around. I'm going to use my plastic one for this. There we go. That down just a smidge. I really wish I'd turned that fan on. But anyhow, so get that going. Get the next one going. There we go. Get a good coating. Get a good coating on that. Smells good. That smells really good. Flip these. Flip the. Ugh. There we go. There we go. And our bacon should be just about be rounding up here at this point. I got my plate together. There we go. Man, that smells like breakfast in here. That's fantastic. Oh, let me get that. Oh, check this. That skillet was kind of hot. There we go. Sometimes it's nice to flip them over real quick when you're doing these, when you're doing French toast, just to make. You can cook it. It'll cool the skillet down pretty quick, but flatten out one side out so it gets a little more even when I flip it back over. Let it go. There you go. Looks pretty decent. Let me move you guys over just a little bit more so you guys can get an eyeball of this. There we go. There we go. That's cool. That seemed to be a little better. That's a little better view, I think. That's going real good. And the bacon is done. I gotta find a good spot for the bacon. Take this off. I need more of these mitts. And I'll show you guys the bacon without burning my house down. The bacon comes out real nice. It all comes up. It looks like it's just going to need to come off and go into a little bit of like onto some paper and a little boat, one of the little cardboard boats I got. But that'll be real nice. Okay, that right there. And I'm gonna worry about that here in a second. I'll let that sit. There you go. There we go. That's what I'm saying. I'm not afraid to flip my French toast a few times. Definitely not. Let's check these. These are another flip. Now, ideally, baking these in the oven would be, the hash browns would be the best way, but it's not as much fun. And I don't get to use a griddle when I do it. So there's that. Let me get these into the boat with a paper towel so I can have the bacon ready to go. There we go. And some bacon up here. Sorry. The bacon comes out. I love bacon. I love baking the bacon, as they say. No pun intended. go. The first round of French toast. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. You get another. That's sitting over here. There we go. Darkening up nice. And it's not as dark as it looks on the screen either. Mercy B, good morning. How are you? Rick Stumball, what's up? Good to see you guys. What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's see. Love my Smithy. Yeah, this is going great so far. And now that I've patted the bacon down, I'll give you guys a look at that. That bacon just comes out, man. I love bacon. I love it doing it in the oven. That's just, it comes out so nice. You just can't beat it. And it's a lot less messy. All the grease stays in there. About another minute on that side. There we go. And nice big thick pieces. Well, you can't. That's going really. This is going good. And it smells amazing in here. And last night when we were doing candles, one of the candles I did was one I did for myself was maple syrup. I had maple syrup scent, and so I did a maple syrup candle, and it smelled. So it was maple syrupy smelling in here last night. Those candles, I can't wait to use them. About another week, the candles will be done. So that'll be pretty rad. But yeah, the French toast is smelling. Oh my gosh, it's smelling so good. And we'll do another. There we go. It's browning up. It's browning up. Brown up real nice. It looks a little darker on the screen, but it's not burnt. I can guarantee you that. I've read somebody who gave me the Lodge pan for Father's Day. What Lodge pan did you get for Father's Day? Anything in particular, Radagast? That going. Getting crispy, nice and crispy. I'll do the other side. I'm gonna do the other side. And these are thick pieces. They're about, I'd say they're about a good inch thick. So it's gonna take a second. Yeah, that's always a good Father's Day present. Cast iron is never a bad thing to get. I mean, ask anybody in here, they'll tell you that. I'm sure of it. Let me get a sip of my coffee while I'm in the lurch. As Graham used to say, she would call waiting for something, she'd call it in the lurch. I don't know what that means, but she always said it. So I'm gonna have some coffee while I'm in the lurch. And I'm gonna make these other pieces. I'm gonna make these other pieces while I'm make these other pieces of French toast while I'm thinking about it. I think these first two are done. Those are done. There we go. And then I'll dip the other two in there. Let them soak around. And I don't know about anybody else, but I like the egg. I like to scramble the eggs I like the scrambled eggs after you're done with the French toast batter. That's always been that's one thing I can say. When I was a kid growing up, I never left things. My mom always said there wasn't a lot of leftovers when I was in the kitchen. She always gave me like the carrot, after she'd make coleslaw, she'd give me the cabbage hearts and all that stuff. Let's see. Scroll up and you will see the pan. Oh, okay. 9 by 13 baking pan. Oh, very cool. There we go. That on there. Toss another dollop of butter on there. I never had any left to do that. That's funny. Throw a little more butter on here toward the back. I got that. My stove has that Detroit lean, so Just set that back in there and it'll make its way down to the bottom. It'll make its way. Let's see. There we go. And we'll just let those go. And I'm going to, oh shoot, I left that, put that in there. My spatula in there. Oh, I have a lot of spatulas. None short of spatulas. Oh, those are browning up nice. Those are browned up nice. And we'll get rid of this. And we'll take everything over here. Bring everything back to the side and we'll do a little bit of plating up. This is about that time. So we got our first round of French toast there. Got these here. Let me give those another minute. Nice and crispy. So plate that up. Move you guys a little better over there. Back you off. I'm getting really close. Sorry guys, I just keep getting really close to everything today. There we go. Like you, I'm getting like microscope view of breakfast. Look at that. And we'll give it a turn. Oh man, that's looking good too. Look at that. Look at that stuff. That French toast is like, that's just banging right there. That is just banging stuff. The mini chicken is done. Let's see. Big scan, please. She just happens to be out here. Big. Big ol' big. You ready? Bacon time, kid. Your fans await. You're getting a spot. You ready for a spin? Let me get one. There we go. All right. You're on your way up, kid. You're gonna be a star someday. We should get t-shirts. Ming said the other day, she goes, we should get t-shirts made. I don't think anybody would buy these t-shirts, but she said that. You wanna do another one? Can I get another spin? You seem to be loving the bacon. There you go. I like a little circus seal. Like a little circus seal. Can you, let's do one more while I'm waiting for my bait, for the other pieces to be done. Can you sit? Can you sit? Can you speak? Speak? Can you speak? Arf. Just give me a big one. Arf. Speak. There you go. There you go. Finally got it. I don't know, was she even on camera when she did it? Probably not. Probably not. Okay. What W.C. Fields say? Never work with kids and dogs. Never work with kids and dogs. Okay, so these are done. These are done. Give my French toast another flip. That. And then I'm going to go just like this for the bacon. Set that into the center. Turn that off. And move the pan. There we go. Move this pan. Safety first. I got a little dog running around, so I got to make sure all the pans are back. So we got that. You guys see that okay? There we go. Put a few slices of the mini chicken in the cast iron. I must have missed what it is about the mini chicken. Let's see, and then we'll do our... I gotta figure out how to get that from picking up everything when I get a notification. There we go. And wipe the syrup off of there. There we go. I'm telling you what. In the immortal words of Marty Brennaman, the longtime broadcaster for the Reds, how are we looking? I'd say that's looking like Father's Day breakfast right there. How are we looking? The salt and pepper shaker. The mini. Oh, my salt and pepper shaker? I must have missed. I missed the mini whatever is sitting above your plate. Oh, it's a turkey. It's a turkey and Dutch oven salt pepper shaker. Is this the salt? The salt's here. The pepper's there. That's the Dutch oven. Yeah. Let's see. Into the mini chickens. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. All right. But yeah, let's give this a day in court. Well, I gotta flip that the other stuff one more time. There we go. Boy, this stuff. I'll tell you what, this Smithy might move up to be my next favorite griddle. Let's see. Check that out. Those things are looking like, that's like magazine stuff right there. Let's see. What do we got in the comments? SC looks like missing flavor. You're probably missing teeth. Let me see. Little powdered sugar. No powdered sugar for me. No powdered sugar for me. It's good. It is tasty, but I think I don't powder sugar too much. But if you like powdered sugar on yours, I mean, a lot of people do. A lot of people put like the berries with the whole berry stuff. That's always I see a lot of people do that. Let's see here. Let me get a little ketchup, and we're gonna give this. Yeah, Ezzy must be Vernon's cousin. Vernon's cousin showed up. I wish they'd come get their mom. That'd be great. That would be fantastic if they did that. There we go. A little ketchup on the side. I had breakfast 5 hours ago. With that breakfast. 5 hours ago I was sleeping. 5 hours ago I was sleeping. Sort of. But I didn't get to bed till about 3 in the morning or so. And I got up at 8:30, 8:45-ish. Which is generally like when I want to get up anyway. That's usually when I get up. Vernon mom said I. Yeah, Vernon. Vernon's mom's going to become a meme on here. All right, let's give this a day in court. Let's see how we did. That way the beagle can have some. Turn this back burner off before I brand my hand for the rest of my life. I'm telling you what, guys, nutmeg and black pepper, they make French toast. That's not even kidding around. Yeah, you guys get up early. My problem is it's not that I don't get up early. It's that I stay up really. I stay up really late. I stay up late every day, and I get up around 8. So I usually run on about 5 hours. Let's see. The only thing missing is the eggs. We can do eggs. We can do eggs. I have a little bit of that batter left over, but I'm still not sure if I can give that to the pooch or not. Because she's got an egg coming. I'm gonna do our patties here. This is I don't know why I like these cheap breakfast the potato patties like I do, but I love these things. When I go to I get McDonald's breakfast or something like that, and I get like 2 or 3 of them every single time. Like an egg McMuffin and 2 of these, And if any of you guys remember the McDonald's recreate I did for the steak, egg, and cheese bagel, I mean that's how I roll when I'm out and about on the Sunday morning getting breakfast, which is virtually about once a year, probably you when I'm Christmas shopping. Yeah, and a lot of people bake these or deep fry them, but man, there ain't nothing wrong with them on the top of the oven. Nothing wrong at all. That is really kicking it. It's super good. I give my dog a piece of hash brown bacon and toast every morning. Do you really? That's cool. Early to bed, early to rise, yeah, etc., etc. Yeah, I've never been, man. I've been always such a workaholic that when I get up in the morning, I mean, I can never seem to get to bed till like 12:30, and then when I was actually working, I'd get up at 4:45 every day, take the dog for a walk for a mile, and then I'd have my butt in the car by 5:45 after breakfast. That's not too bad. I'm going to do another bite of this. Just the French toast by itself. Without the bacon on top. That bacon turned out really good. I think we had that in there at 325 on a skillet for probably 25 minutes, 30 minutes. And that bacon's, that's perfect to me. I mean, some people like a little chewier bacon. Some people like a little crispier bacon. That's like right in the middle. 100%. Moonrise. I have the same turkey salt shaker from Cracker Barrel, right next to your OJ. Yeah, that's where I got it. I had one of my daughters when she was working last summer in between semesters. She had a job at Cracker Barrel, so I got. When you're getting, I think the friends and family was like 25 or 30% discount. We were snagging everything out of the home store, out of their, what do they call it? What's it called? Is it the home store part of Cracker Barrel? Something like that? Yeah, we were getting, like I've always said, Cracker Barrel is okay. They got some stuff that's pretty good, but their gift shop is where it's at. I love that thing. Yeah, Mercy B does have the same one. She was I remember watching the replay on that where she was trying to tell me what she was talking about. And I sometimes about half the time I have my back to the monitor and I can't see all the comments and they scroll by so quick sometimes. And she just kept trying to tell me what she was talking about. And I'm like, just totally going around it. Like I was totally in left field with what she was saying. And and you have the egg one also. Cracker Barrel breakfast rock. I like the Mountain Man breakfast, Tom. I do like that a lot. I really dig on that. That's a good one. I'm gonna have a piece of this bacon with just the syrupy butter on it. Yeah. 4 out of 5 cardiologists recommend that you have bacon with pure maple syrup and butter and melted butter on it. And the fifth one is completely wrong. Yeah, actually, Moonrise. I have two different style Cracker Barrel T-shirts, and I wear them all the time. People probably think it's the weirdest thing ever, but I'm all the time rocking a Cracker Barrel T-shirt. They're two of my favorite T-shirts. Let's see, Cracker Barrel had the first time I had catfish for breakfast. I have it a few days a month at home. Oh, really? I've only had catfish a couple different times, and I wasn't a big fan, but I'd be down to try it again if Cracker Barrel makes a good one. Beegs merch. If anybody would buy Beegs merch, I would make Beegs merch. Because I already do merch for the beard company. We already have T-shirts and stickers and things like that. I don't think The stickers are up right now, but the t-shirts are on eBay. The Seven Shamrocks Beard Company, Seven Shamrocks Beard Company t-shirts are up. Those are great t-shirts too. Cheap. They're pretty cheap, and they get to you fast. Let's see. I eat leftovers for breakfast, but I don't think I have ever had fish for breakfast. Yeah, I don't think I've had fish for breakfast when I've been like camping. Like quite a bit actually, because I'm a few hours, like a couple hours away. I used to live a lot closer to Lake Erie. We used to go to Lake Erie and fish and camp all the time, and I had a lot of fish. I'd have fish for breakfast up there because we just catch it. We just catch it right out of the lake and then have it. And it was always, so yeah, I've had walleye for breakfast a bunch of times. Walleye, sawguy, that kind of thing. But I've never had catfish for breakfast. I can almost say that, I would definitely say I've never had catfish for breakfast. But the last time I was at Lake Erie, I think I caught a 23-pound catfish last time I was there. But we threw it back. That's been a while ago. Catch the time. Beaks candles.
Smells like bee.
It smells like wet dog. That'd be great. But there's worse candles. There's definitely worse candles out there. Wet. Beaks is wet. How she smells on a nice rainy day in her raincoat when she comes in, and she has her towel. That's the funny thing is when she comes in from the rain or anytime it's rain out, we have one towel that the dog uses, and that's it. Smoked salmon omelet? Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. I would rock that. I never thought about that. Yeah, dog scent. Puppy breath candles. The Beaks did have the puppy breath there for a while. She had the milk breath. Let's see. Is that goetta? Is what, my friend? It's dog meat, Diddy. Man, that's awesome. No, Diddy, it's not. It's, yeah, it is dog meat, actually. It's your dog. Sorry about that. You should keep him on a leash. But it is tasty. I like a good grain-fed dog. That's always good. Thank you so much. The chip was a little tough, but maybe I should have turned him in with the but we got through it. We got around the chip. And we thought it was actually Diddy, the one who's kind of hemmed up right now. I'm glad to know it's your dog. I feel a lot better about it. Let's see here. Let's see. Tailwind, happy Father's Day. Handsome Stone, thank you so much for stopping in. Happy Father's Day to you. Goetta. Is Goetta cheese? Is that a cheese? Goetta cheese? I got Ming over here in the background. I should start having her do like a Jamie from the Rogan show. Be like, Ming, look that stuff up. Let's see. White Mountain Girl, good morning. Thank you so much. It's been a good Father's Day so far, and it's just getting started. It's pronounced Geta. It's kind of sausage, and it's pronounced Geta. Oh, okay, I got you. Good to see you, Whitey. I appreciate you stopping in. I barely make it. What do you mean? What do you mean, sweetie? Barely make it? Barely make it here? It's a wonder you're not at work. I figured you'd be working today. Making vanilla pancakes with the number 9 large block logo. Alfred Anderson Pelt. Oh, plated pan. Oh, very cool. Show her your mug. She's seen the mug. She's seen my mug. But my there you go, Whitey. That's my. I think she knows that's my first Father's Day present ever, and I've had it. Yeah. I don't use it very often. I kind of keep it back to the cover because I'm always afraid I'm gonna break it. Because I'm really bad with coffee cups. If you guys ever notice if you see coffee cups in my videos, they're always chipped. Because I don't use one of those. I have a Yeti, but I never use it. I just always pour coffee into. I just always have my coffee cup, and I just take that with me. I never use that. I very rarely. The only time I ever use the Yeti is for like margaritas in the summertime. That's it. But yeah, so I keep this one on the very back burner because I've had it for, oh, geez, Pete's, probably 25 years, 25 years at least. It's the only one I haven't chipped or broken I don't know how many I've left on top of my car. I've actually driven, like I remember a couple times I've driven to the post office and back, and it's like a 15-mile-an-hour zone for a lot of it, and I've actually still had my coffee cup on the top, or I see it in the road broken on my way back. I've done that. I don't even know how many times I've done that. We drove 6 hours. It was to be 6 hours from this area. I'm beat. Yeah, is that, did you go to New Jersey, Handsome Stone? Is that what you're talking about? I'm sitting here two-fisting it. I got my coffee and my juice at the same time. I'm getting it started for Father's Day already. Oh, I can see it better now. Rye both Delaware. Okay, I got you. I'm trying to think if I've ever been to Delaware. I don't know if I've ever been to Delaware. I've probably been through it. When I was a baby, we lived in Florida for a little while, so I'm sure I've had to have went through Delaware. I think, or would you just go through Georgia? I don't know. I've been to Georgia quite a few times. For whatever that's worth. Run a bead of silicone. That's a good idea. Run a bead of silicone around the bottom of my mugs. They'll stay a little bit better. Trick from going. That would be a good one. Delaware's more money. Yeah, Delaware. Yeah, it is. I got. My best friend from high school lives in Maryland. I've mapped that out a couple times. All right. But yeah, I haven't went anywhere. I haven't went on any, like, I don't think I've left the state in probably a year at all. Like, I don't think I've left Ohio, which is kind of unusual because I'm really close. I'm not that far from Indiana. So I will go to Indiana for a picking to go after cast iron looking. There's a really big old blue jean factory. And I'm trying to think, in Portland, Indiana, that is always a great place to go picking if you're ever there. I can't think of the name of it, but it's awesome. After I season my coffee cup, I never wash it. That's funny. I know many people that do that. Yeah, there's a lot of people. I know a lot of people that don't wash like their coffee makers or their coffee pots, and things like that. And I've heard of that. They never use soap on their coffee cups or their coffee or their coffee pots. Or I don't know if it's French pressed that they do that with. I forget. I can't. Yeah, French press. I think people. I don't have a French press. I'm pretty basic. I just have a coffee, regular Mr. Coffee. Nothing fancy here. Nothing fancy about my coffee maker other than the hipster coffee I put in it. But anyway, I'm gonna jump on out of here. It's been about that time, and but I do appreciate everybody showing up as usual on Sundays, especially Sundays. Sunday's a busy day for everybody, so I definitely appreciate everybody showing up and hanging out for an hour or so. And to everybody out there, happy Father's Day if it applies to you. If it doesn't, say happy Father's Day to a father you know. And that's being a father is a tough business, and a lot of times it's one of the, especially these days, it doesn't seem to be as appreciated as it once was. Dads don't seem to get a lot as much of the love as they used to get back in the day, especially a lot of respect. A lot of people, I noticed on a lot of these, you know, in TV shows when I was growing up, the dad was kind of dad was one of the central parts of the family. Now it seems like in today's TV, he's kind of the goofy guy that everybody makes fun of, which I think is kind of one of the reasons I quit watching TV a long time ago, because that's not real life, especially TV commercials where the dad's always kind of the doofus and everybody is like, oh, dad doesn't know anything. And the other thing is, I don't know what a dad joke is. That's another thing that I really have no idea. My dad and my grandfather and my grandpa, they never told dad jokes. They never once told dad jokes. You know, I don't even know what a dad joke is. You know, that's just I don't get it. But, you know, dad joke, yeah, corny. I mean, I don't ever remember my dad doing. My dad told jokes that you could only tell in a dive bar. You know what I mean? They never told jokes that, you know, I don't know. I know what you mean, corny jokes or whatever, but I never remember my dad doing that. I don't tell dad jokes. But yeah, anyway, I'm not gonna go on a big rant. But anyway, happy Father's Day to everybody out there. If it doesn't apply to you, say happy Father's Day to somebody who it does. And for all the dads out there doing double duty, I'm with you. I've been doing it for 20 years. It's tough, but you'll get through it. But anyway, I'm going to jump off here, and I'll see you guys Thursday. Check the channel and keep your notifications on for other videos and shorts and all these other things that I occasionally pop up and do. And if you haven't already, and you've come back a time or two, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get to this one particular goal. We've got to get to 500 subscribers, and then I will quit harping about it. I promise I won't harp on it anymore. But anyway, I'm going to jump off out of here, and I will see you guys all in the comment section. All right, see you. What is going on? Yeah, it wouldn't let me turn it off. You got me.